Hi tribe, welcome back to my channel. So today, as you can see, I am all things pink, all things wild. I am in Pam's studio. Remember? Remember, she's a pro hairstylist. So she has her own office here that you can get your hair done, get your wig installed by your wig. She has the most beautiful, luxurious wigs in SA. Okay, tell your friends to tell their friends that I said so. All right, so coming back to personal finance, today I want to talk about 7 myths about investing you should not believe. All right, and I think just to say, so many people are afraid of investing because it seems so intimidating. And through this 7 myths and busting the 7 myths, you will realize that actually it does not have to be hard. All right, so what is the first myth about investing? The first one normally is people believe that they need to have a lot of money to start investing, and that is a myth, that is a lie, that is not true. Okay, and over the years there has been so many amazing platforms that make it easier and that make it accessible, that make it affordable to start investing. So I think even with me, before I got into the personal finance space, before I started my degree, I used to think, investments, I'm sure it's for like people who are rich, people who've made it in life, people you read about in magazines. And another thing, I used to think that people in magazines are actually rich. I was in a magazine before I made any money. So please, anything you see on media, it's sometimes not a true reflection. Yes, sometimes it is, because there are people who are genuinely living their dreams, living their best lives. But just on that example, that I was in a magazine before I had made any amount of money, it goes to show you that, these things, it's curated, it's content basically, right? So I also thought that you need tons of money. I thought, I had an idea in my head what rich people look like. I had in my head how much they would earn for them to start investing. I thought maybe you need like 100,000, 500,000. And truly speaking, you do not need that type of money. All you need, you can start from 100 rand. You can start 250 rand, 500 rand, okay? So it is possible to start investing with the little that you have. And I always tell the story, when I sort of started working, I used to work part-time. I think I was in my 3rd year, and I used to work for a family company. I was doing accounting, and I used to earn 3,550 rand, a whole 3,550 rand. But from that, I used to put away 350 rand every single month. Okay, so I started there even back then. So even with you can start with very, very small amounts of money, and companies that do offer that. The thing is, most asset managers, of course, still want to start off with a 500 rand debit order, right? But there are other places like Easy Equities. Easy Equities, you can start investing from 100 rand. There are platforms like, oh my goodness, I'm forgetting them right now on the spot, but I'll put them in the description below so that you can have access to them. But there are tons and tons of tools and websites that allow you to invest from 350 rand, 100 rand, but most of them from 500 bucks. So if you think about it in context, I think sometimes when you think about investments, you're like, oh no, but 500 bucks or 1,000 bucks. But if you think about your life, and this is the exercise we did with Pam a couple of years ago, like it's a year ago now that you've been investing. I said, Pam, we go out quite often. And if you put all of that money together, it's way more than 1,000 rand. And now she has a tax-free savings account. Yeah, it is. Yeah, her tax-free savings account, and it goes off every month. And it's automated. There's a debit order, so she doesn't feel it as such, or doesn't see it. She's like, no, I feel it.
But it feels good.
It feels
You wanna spend
exactly,
money, I feel
exactly 100, and that's it. Once you start doing the right things, it feels good, man. It feels like, you know what? Okay, I might not have everything figured out, but at least this one thing I'm doing. And I think that's another thing when it comes to personal finance or investing, is that you don't have to have your things figured out altogether. I think maybe that's another myth that we should add there, right? That we often feel like, oh no, for me to start investing, I need to have everything together. That could be just that one thing that you have together right now, and while you're working towards everything else. So perhaps we could say 8 myths about investing, right? So that is number 1 and 2. Now, number 3, the myth is it takes too much time to invest, right? So here I'm talking about a lot of the times people think that they have to go and research companies, they have to sit on their laptops and find information. While that is prudent and it is good to begin with or to start off, you don't have to do that. There are unit trusts, there are exchange traded funds, so you don't have to go and buy individual shares. So exchange traded funds are one of the investments that I prefer, that I absolutely love, because you are buying a basket of shares, but you are buying it at a lower rate. So instead of buying an individual share for 1,000 rand per share or 300 rand per share, here you're buying a basket of shares, and you can start off with 350 rand, 500 bucks, or whatever amount you can afford. All right. Then another myth, number 4, is the professionals always beat the market. Guys, you know, one of the things that just fascinates me about the investment world is individuals often doubt themselves so much. They think that, oh, professionals can just fix my life. Yes, sure, while they can definitely help, and they are there for a reason. And you remember, for me, I believe in professionals. If I need someone to do a sales funnel for me, I'm gonna get someone. If I need I don't know, like, I'm just gonna get a coach to help me, because sometimes there are things that you might not see, right? But it's not that everyone should get a professional from the get-go. Okay, so what do I mean by that? In an example of Pam, she didn't really need a professional to go and get a tax-free savings account. It was a tax-free savings account, and you literally just choose either a balanced fund if it's a unit trust, or choose an equity fund if you have a long-term plan, right? So it doesn't have to be daunting. It doesn't have to be so much work that you actually don't end up doing it. And that's the thing. A lot of the times people don't end up investing because they think, oh no, I'm still going to research up. And it's analysis paralysis. Then you end up not doing anything. This year, we are not analyzing to the point of being paralyzed. Just do it, and you learn along the way as you go. All right. Then number 4, it is too risky. Guys, what is not risk in life? Like, what is not risky? Breathing is a risk. Okay, I'm being dramatic. But the thing about risk is that everything has risk, right? And I want to read you something. Who said it? Mark Zuckerberg. All right. Mark Zuckerberg said this, and I completely 100% agree with this. He says, in a world that is changing really quick, the one strategy that is guaranteed to fail is not taking risks. So by not taking risks is the biggest risk you'll ever take. So that could mean with investments, for example, there is risk, and that should tell you something about scammers. When they say it is risk-free, you are guaranteed that you're going to get your money, then you must run the opposite direction. Then you know it's a lie. There is nothing in this world that you're going to do that does not have risk. Starting a business is a risk. Okay, it has risks. It might work or it might not work out. But when it does, you'll just be like, you know what, thank God, right? So not taking a risk in life is the biggest risk. But obviously you have to understand the type of risk that you're taking and be comfortable with it and know how long you have to invest, okay? So please don't be afraid of investing just because it's risky. And there's ways to mitigate that. So through diversification, through investing in perhaps bonds, equity is a little bit more risky, investing in property, investing in cash. But if you're young, go into equity, all right? Then number 6 now. Yeah, because now we did 2. Okay. You need to monitor your investments every day. Guys, please don't be that person. When you're investing, you know your goal, you know your time horizon, you know your risk. You know that, okay, I'm risk averse, I'm moderately, I want a moderate portfolio, I want a risky portfolio. You know all of those things. There's no reason that every day you're checking, oh, how much have I made? It's not a Ponzi scheme, guys, where you are going to double your money in a month. We'll talk about Ponzi schemes and my experience there another time. But there's no use you going into your portfolio every single day. It doesn't work like that, okay? Then number 6. Yes, number 6, you need to know when is the right time to buy, right? So you want to time the market. I want to buy when there's a dip. I want to buy when there's a high. I want to buy when, I think that this stock is going to do well in such and such a period. You are not a magician. Even magicians cannot tell what's going to happen in the stock market. Even the most seasoned investor, asset manager cannot tell you which stock will do best tomorrow, right? So timing the market is a recipe for disaster. So what do? You do what you call rent cost averaging, okay? So rent cost averaging means that you put money on a monthly basis, so smaller amounts of money than putting in a lump sum hoping that the stock is going to go high. So you put in bits and pieces of money every single month consistently, for example, 1,000 rand, 5,000 rand, whatever that amount looks like for you, and you write out the volatility in the market. So what do I mean? So let's say, for example, in February, it's a good month. The stocks and whatever it is that you're investing in is rallying and it's in the green, right? So it means that normally you're getting less when things are higher. So you're getting less units. But when the stock plunges, for the same amount of money, it means that you're getting way more. So rent cost averaging, so it averages out the volatility that you will experience, the highs and the lows. And I think that's one of the best investment strategies that you can use, okay? Then number 8, the last one. It's a quick way to make money. That's a myth. That is a lie. And you will get robbed every single time if that's what you believe investing is about, okay? So investing is about consistency. Investing is about doing your research and saying, okay, this is why I'm investing. This is the goal. And knowing when to invest and how much to invest over a long period of time. And the reason why people get scammed, and even on Instagram, I have so many catfish accounts. So catfish accounts, people pretending to be me, saying, oh no, there's this investment. Guys, I will never ever in my entire life solicit or get into your DMs, into your email, into your WhatsApp and say, oh no, I'm running this thing if you invest. Never, ever. I don't even have an FSP license, guys. Okay, so please don't get scammed. I know also because of desperation, the times we find ourselves in, it's easy to be gullible. It's easy for you to be like, oh no, this is a quick fix for my situation. Guys, you're going to be in a worse off situation than you were when you started. So please protect your money. Make sure that where you are investing it, there is an FSP license, that they're not promising bogus returns, which they normally do. They'll tell you that you invest. I saw actually one of the tribe members sent me a screenshot of this guy who said, oh no, he's me, saying that if she invests 1,500 rand by the end of 2 weeks, it will be 15,000. I said, Haibo, if I was making that amount of money, why would I be telling you? Why wouldn't I just take my 1,500 bucks and start investing for myself? And now you see me living lavishly. Why would I bother sending texting people messages, being in people's DMs? That is stupidity. Like, these people are crooks and they are out to get you. So please do not fall for such type of stuff, okay? It is not a quick way to make money. It takes time, it takes patience, and throughout the process you should be learning how investments work, okay?
Can you ask an investor for their FSP license?
Absolutely, and you should ask them. So Pam, if you didn't hear, she was asking, can you ask an investor for their FSP license? I think that's a very prudent thing to do. So I'll actually tell you this for completely free, right? Normally, not even normally, all the time, I have never ever had an experience with a registered FSP, with an asset manager who goes into my DMs. I've never seen Coronation. I've never seen Allen Gray. I've never seen Signy. I've never seen Easy Equities. I have never seen any of the asset managers, Prudential, Investec, even Standard Bank, even Absa. I have never ever seen these guys come into my DMs and say, hey, we have a 32-day notice account. No one does that. So please stop being scammed. And even people who are on social media, they do not have a FSP license. I don't have an FSP license. So please just ignore them, report them, block them, and possibly give them a middle finger. But that's a thing one other time. We are not those type of people here. Thank you so much for watching, Tribe. I hope this video was informative. I will see you soon. Please do remember to subscribe and share the video. Bye for now.